Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. My allergies have finally stalled a little bit, so I sound more like myself for once, but the construction going on in my neighbor's house next door makes it to where at any point it could sound like my roof's going to cave in or there's a hammer and a jackhammer in the background, which makes sense because that's called natural sound. It also reminds me that I'm kind of going to be missing some of that unintentionally. Next week, when I am gone for 6 straight days, I may only get to post 1 or 2 videos a day on YouTube, but I'm still going to try to post at least 1 per day to have something to look forward to. When I played this game at its highest peak for about 4 straight years, maybe 4.5 more like it, I worked 120 hours a week between my teaching and YouTube jobs. When it was just YouTube, I'd spend 80 hours a week messaging, responding to as many comments on videos, staying up till 2 a.m. making videos, waking up at 7 to make them again. I had my back attached to an outlet. The joke was they just plugged Prof in, and every time there was anything breaking news in the community, you'd go to my channel and it'd automatically be reported. I was a journalist in a way. Not that means I didn't make mistakes, because I definitely did. In fact, that might be more of a modern journalism definition than reporting the truth. But it wasn't sustainable. In the last year, got engaged. I cut out the communication on most of the videos because I didn't have the time to do it, and I just have to hope that my subscribers understand. And most importantly, I doubled and tripled down on my commitment to not do Alliance War. I believe this game mode is, and has always been, to a certain extent, evil. I think it prides itself on not having skill, but having the right champions and hoping that you don't get bad RNG. I used to have to fight Killmonger on power game nodes, and that would literally cause me to have nightmares. Now, there are plenty of people who are far better at this game than I am that love Alliance War, and I respect their right to love it, but I also respect my own right to denounce it. War has always been tough. It's gone in so many different iterations, but war is something that the best alliances for a long time, not only their goal was to 100% explore it, excuse me, apparently I'm allergic to Alliance War because I'm sneezing now, but their goal was also to not have any deaths, to be death-free. I remember years ago when Alliance War seasons first came out that alliances kept track of who had the most deaths, and they would kick you if you got more than a couple. And I thought to myself, that sounds like emotional and mental prison. Spiritual prison, even. So to go from thinking that Alliance War is something that your goal should be 0 deaths, to now seeing something like what I'm about to show on screen, where with especially the new defensive tactic, you are essentially making really good defenders like Bullseye even better. To where a rank 5 SIG 200 Bullseye on defense gets 31 kills by himself. And look, I understand that revives are cheap. And so this isn't the unit cost that it once was. That's all true, and that's all fair. But the cost is not financial as much as emotional. And it's not even emotional as much as it is time-wise. Suddenly, you have no desire to play another Alliance War that Bullseye is on that node. Unless you have improved skills and the right attackers, which a lot of people don't. This is a microcosm of what is happening to alliances now that their goal is probably less than 50 deaths collectively. We're going to darken the screen now because this microcosm takes us to a macrocosm from somebody that oftentimes tags me on Twitter/X, and that is Mizoa, who tagged me and Rich the Man. And he said, this can't be what Kabam wanted for the new war tactic. People are so mad, 3 alliance members quit. 1 broke their fun. Their fun. One broke their phone because they weren't having fun. None of this is fun. We have a 324 defender kills to 167, attacker kills 138 to 142. One battle group cleared, 97% explored. Now, Kabam's looking at this and saying, finally, it's actually tough again. That's what we've wanted Alliance War to be all along. But once you get people used to the idea that they have enough skills and enough of a diverse roster to clear even the toughest of paths, and then you make it way more difficult and way harder, and you make defenders that people haven't even fought that long, like Bullseye, even better, it's just going to blow up in your face. It was too hard, too fast. By the way, a saw is now going on in the background as I conclude this video. It's too hard, too fast, and the bottom line is it's just going to lead to burnout. So I need to end this video so you don't hear more saw, because that's what's going on this week around my house. Hey, just paused. But in the meantime, I get the frustration. If you love this, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I wouldn't, but we're very different people for obvious reasons. But I get the frustration. And this is what leads to the game being on the decline. When all these different factors add up. When it's more expensive to play than ever before. When Battlegrounds is the opposite of fun and you're only rewarding Valiant players for a buffed Battlegrounds store. It's all just really bad decisions collectively, all at once. And there's still plenty of good decisions, from the Valentine's Day free calendar, 14-day calendar, to much better daily specials, including the stamps and their worth. All that's great, but it's now a full pay-to-play game. And if you don't pay to play, you can still become Valiant like Brian Grant, but Brian Grant is not somebody that I'm ever going to talk about as the average free-to-play player. He's the exception to the rule, not the rule. So, that's my feedback. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good one.